Greetings to all my dear students. In the light of upcoming online exam, we are going to revise Deep Water written by William Douglas, that is taken from the textbook Flamingo. So let us start with our revision class. Now students, one thing you have to keep in your mind that the questions are going to be objective. That is why you have to do a minute study of all the relevant topics that are going to be covered under this video. Now students, before we begin, I would like to discuss the important themes of this chapter. This was covered in the original video lesson also, but since it's quite important, I would like to discuss it again. So first one is author's fear of water or aquaphobia as we call it, and how he was able to overcome it. Second one, it is very important, effect of fear on a child's mind, that is study of child psychology with respect to how fear affects the mind of children. So we see here in this chapter that fear of water, it makes an impression in the author's mind in the childhood, and it remains even when he grows up. Third one, not death but the fear of death is what that scares us. In this story, the author William Douglas, he has both the experiences, the fear of death and the actual experience of near death. So he says that it is not death. Death is something that is very peaceful. He feels it when he was drowning in the swimming pool. But what is fearful, what is to be feared of, is the fear of death. Once we overcome the fear of death, nothing can make us afraid. Last one, past memories can leave an indelible impact on human mind, because we see that even when the author grows up, past memories haunt him. Once he had this experience of drowning in the swimming pool as a child, and even when he grows up as an adult, he is not able to enjoy any kind of activities or water sports. My dear students, now let us talk about the characters and places mentioned in the story, that is the setting of the story. So let's talk about the protagonist or the main character first. Our protagonist is the author of the story, that is William O. Douglas. So it is an autobiographical story. It's a real life experience taken from Of Men in Mountains, the original book, and the story is an excerpt, a part taken from that book. Setting of the story is a swimming pool which is run by Young Men's Christians Association in Yakima. Now Yakima is a US city located about 60 miles southeast of Mount Rainier in Washington. I've told about the setting in the original video lesson 2. Now let us see the main events or chronology of the story. William O. Douglas had a desire to learn swimming since childhood. At the age of 3 or 4, he was knocked down and buried by a wave at a beach in California. So his very first experience with water was not good. There he developed a great aversion to water. Aversion means dislike or hatred. At the age of 10 or 11, he decided to learn to swim with water wings. Now, water wings are inflated floats attached to the arms at YMCA pool, since it was safe at the shallow end. So, even once when his experience with water was not good, the author gathered courage and he thought that why not give it a second chance. So, for learning, he chose a very safe place, that is YMCA pool. So he decided to learn how to swim there, and let us see what happens. Now, according to the author William Douglas, this swimming pool was safe, but what happened there, it changed his life forever. There a misadventure happened. While sitting alone and waiting for others to come at the YMCA pool, a big bruiser boy came there. Now this boy, he tried to bully him, and not only he tried to bully him, he picked him up and threw the skinny, thin little Douglas into deep end of the pool. So students, we must remember that he is about, or he has not yet learned how to swim. He had just gone there to learn how to swim. So Douglas, he swallowed water and went straight down to the bottom of the pool. But he did not lose hope. While going down, he planned to make a big jump upwards but came up slowly. He tried to shout to call for help, but he could not because water was there all around. As he went down the pool second time, he tried to jump upwards, but it was a waste of energy. Terror held him deeper and deeper. So this was his plan, that he would push the bottom of the swimming pool and reach to the top of the or reach to the surface of the water, but he did not succeed in his venture. During the third trial, he sucked water instead of air. So 3 times he tried, but he was not able to get out of the swimming pool. Students, in this part of the story, we will compare the two experiences of the author William Douglas. First one is the fear of death, when he fears death, when he struggles to live. And second one, that is his near death experience, when he accepts that he is going to die and when he ceases all his efforts. So both the experiences are quite different. When he is struggling, when he fears death, he is anxious. But when he accepts that he is going to die, he does not feel panicked at all. Instead, he feels as if he is lying in the lap of his mother. So that is what the author tries to convey to the readers, that fear lies in fearing death. The real experience of death is quite different from how we expect it to be. So now the author has ceased all his efforts. He feels as if he has crossed to oblivion, where he is not aware of the feelings or worries of this physical mortal world. When he revived, he found himself beside the pool. Someone had rescued him from the swimming pool. But he was in grip of fear of water, that is, he developed aquaphobia since that time. And this aquaphobia, it deprived him of the joys of canoeing, boating, swimming and fishing. So any activity related to water, he could not enjoy it anymore after this experience. But he did not lose hope. He hired an instructor to learn swimming, and the instructor taught him swimming piece by piece. So one line is there, he built a swimmer piece by piece. He went to different lakes and water bodies to swim and found tiny vestiges of fear still gripped him. So whenever he went near any water body, the old fear, it still returned. But he challenged his fear and he continued to swim. Swimming up and down the warm lake, he finally overcame his fear of water. So by constant training and his own practice, he was able to overcome the fear of water. Now he realized that in death there is peace and there is terror only in fear of death. So I've talked about it earlier also. The experience of death is peaceful, while the fear of death is what troubles the human mind. Now let's talk about the character sketch of the protagonist as well as the narrator, William O. Douglas. Douglas was very honest and he confesses his fear, which shows that he was a brave man. His admission of his terrorized state after being rescued from the pool reflects his honesty. So, first, to wipe out your fear, you have to accept it, admit your weakness in front of others. And William Douglas, he had that courage to do so. He was a very hard-working man. Once he decided to overcome his fear, he worked day and night to achieve his aim. We see that it took many months for him to overcome his fear of water or aquaphobia. William Douglas, he is very determined and he has a strong willpower. His determination to get rid of his fear with an exceptionally strong willpower made it possible for him to achieve his goal. He was strategic thinker and planner. Even when he was pushed in water unexpectedly, that is, he was thrown into the pool by the bruiser boy, he was very clearly, he could plan his strategy, and he made a three-step plan that how could he save his life. Although he did not succeed, but we see that he had this presence of mind. Dear students, this is it for this revision video. For further details and discussion of question answers, you can refer to the original video lesson. So study with all your efforts and score well in the exams. All the best to all of you. Thank you.